Well, today we're going to look at Travis Kalanick, co-founder and one of the CEOs of Uber, and Anthony Levandowski. We're going back to the auto scandal where the four engineers, if you look back at my other videos, I go through all this whole thing with the four engineers that left Google, Waymo, what's now known as Waymo, started a company, sold it to Uber, and it was all a scam, and it all fell apart from there. If you go back to my previous videos, you'll see that entire story laid out. But looking at, maybe if you keep digging, I just kept digging. If you just keep digging on each of these people, you just find more and more and more dirt. You find more and more grime. These guys are something else, man. And these are the leaders of autonomous trucking right now. And their start is total, like, scamming, stealing, lying. Like, it's crazy. Well, it looks like Anthony Levandowski was in cahoots with Travis Kalanick from Uber. Travis and him got together a few times, talked about how they can do this plan to take Google's LiDAR and somehow get it to Uber. They couldn't just leave Uber and go work for, sorry, check that. They couldn't just leave Google and go work for Uber because of NDAs and non-compete orders and stuff like that. So they came up with a plan to create a company called Otto. It looks like Lewandowski started Otto way before he left even Google. So when him and Travis come up with a plan, okay, the only way we can do this is if you start a company and then I'll buy it through Uber, and then we get the stolen tech that way. So Otto was never even a real company. It was always a scam. It was always going to be a scam. It was always about a heist. It was always about getting Google's LiDAR. It never was what the headlines reported, and that narrative is completely false. That whole thing of Uber bought Otto for 680 million, none of that's even true. None of it's true. It was just to get the engineers from Google and the tech from Google. And it all came out on the Straws report. Uber, the other, board members of Uber, I'm not sure how much they knew about it. Some were in on it, some were not. The ones that are not, of course, hire a company, the Straws, to investigate the four engineers. I mean, that's only due diligence for a company. Hey, we're gonna buy $680 million self-driving truck. Let's make sure these guys are on the up and up. Well, that those investigators were pretty damn good, and Lewandowski was just pretty damn bad. He basically told on himself. He had Google, it just is crazy. For being tech geniuses and masters of robotics and algorithms and AI and all this stuff, they're pretty freaking stupid using their phones, texting, using their laptops, like just completely just taking this guy Lewandowski and Liar Ron are like deleting files while they're being questioned. Like they're deleting text messages like right before being questioned, right after being questioned, in the building that they're being questioned in. Like these guys are something else for being these high IQ algorithmic geniuses that create self-driving vehicles. They sure act like stupid con men. Isn't that funny? Like, does anybody see this? And now Layaran is the COO of Wabi. He got sued by Google personally. He had to pay like $9 million because of all this big old scam. Lewandowski went to prison for this. Like, literally went to prison. Of course, he's out. He got out because he paid Trump. He donated to his campaign, just like the guy from Nikolai. Same thing. You pay the president, you'll get out of jail free. Well, not free, you'll get out of jail if you pay enough money to the right people. But yeah, this is so interesting. It's it's almost beyond belief that these guys are the top of autonomous semi truck driving now. The birth of all this comes from these guys. And during this time at Uber, Wabi, she was the chief scientist at Uber during this time. Uh, Lewandowski and Travis are now joining forces again. They're out now with their Travis went underground and started some kitchen AI company. He hid it for years. He just came out with this new company, Atom, ATOM something, I forget. He's been making those stupid food carts that drive around that people will knock over. You've seen the videos of people knocking these little food carts over and them falling over the curves. That's what he's been doing. And Lewandowski started Pronto, an AI mining company where they drive the big haul trucks. And now Travis's company, Atom, just bought Pronto. So now they're joining forces again, and they're having this Travis has some kind of manifesto plan to come back into the AI world. These guys are insane. These guys are top level scammers with tons of money, and I think they're just bored. I think they get a kick out of scamming. And then Lyle Ron, he stayed at Uber, and then now he's with Wabi. Wabi's the new kid on the block, getting all the attention. You could tell Uber's backing Wabi now. Uber's sold a bunch of like 67 million shares of Aurora a week or two ago, and they invested like $400 million into Wabi. Volvo turning their back on Aurora, saying that they're not going to go driverless until next year, the first quarter. Supposedly, is what they've been saying for a decade now. Next year we'll go driverless, and next quarter we'll go driverless, and next time we're gonna go drive. It's been saying this for 10 years. Ain't nothing gonna happen. On all these headlines and all these normies, all you see on TikTok is people just screaming, "The sky is falling. Self-driving trucks are here. They're gonna take over the world." No, they're not. They're not gonna do a damn thing because these guys are scammers. That's what these guys do. They just scam. They know their product doesn't work. They know it's never gonna work. More of the news is what the Cybercab. People are freaking out about that. Oh my god, it has a steering wheel. Yeah, no shit has a steering wheel. Who the hell is gonna insure a car with no steering wheel to a personal as for personal use? Ain't no insurance company on the planet would insure a car with no steering wheel. It's like people don't even think at all. They just listen to Elon and they just believe everything he says. Like they don't even think about insurance. They don't even think about who's gonna buy a car with no freaking steering wheel. Like you would have to be pretty stupid to buy a car with no steering wheel, no gas pedals, no brake pedals. It makes no sense at all. Yes, it has a steering wheel because it has to have a steering wheel, and somebody has to be in it, or the insurance company won't insurance. The only reason why Wabi or Waymo and Zoox and Tesla got away with it is because they're self-insured, and they were in a small geo-fenced area, and they had remote drivers, and they had people around to reboot the car, turn it off and turn it on when the car messed up. That's how stupid this all is. Okay, Waymo has people on the ground and a command center with remote drivers somewhere. And if that car bricks in the middle of an intersection, they have rescue plans. Okay, that doesn't work for selling somebody a car, a personal car for personal use. That can't work because that whole plan of Elon, yes, your car can make you money while you sleep. That's not ever going to happen because nobody will insure that. Nobody's going to insure a car just driving around by itself. And Elon's not going to make a command center for all the people that have all his cars. That doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. None. So yes, the car has a steering wheel. Okay, it's going to have a steering wheel for the foreseeable future. Now back to good old Travis and Lewandowski. Yeah, Travis was in on it. He's the co-founder of Uber. He's the co-founder of Uber, a billionaire. They made him leave after all this cashed out his stocks. He left with like 3 point something billion dollars. And he's been underground making AI kitchens. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, what do you mean AI kitchens? This doesn't make any sense. Him and Lewandowski, it looks like they're pairing up together to make just a big version of a stupid little food cart. Oh, Lewandowski mastered the big truck AI mining equipment, and Lewandowski mastered the little cart. Combined together, they get just a big box on wheels. See, you know why? Because they need to get past the OEMs, the manufacturers, the Packars, the Peterbilts, the Kenworths, the Freightliners, the Volvos. Those guys hold the keys. Okay, if they say that driver's never coming out, that driver is never coming out. Packard has no plans on taking the driver out. Packard has no plans on building this ground up truck with 2 brake systems, 2 steering systems for anybody. They know it's not going to work. They said in that Kurzweil Capital report, they even talked to Packard. It's in my last video that to make this truck it's going to cost $1 million. $1 million truck. He said it would be Malthusian to sell $1 million truck to a carrier. He said even taking the driver out would never make up the cost. Like even if it worked, it wouldn't be cost efficient. So they know this. They know it's never going to work. They know they can't take the driver out. So it looks like Lewandowski and Travis are going to make their own vehicle like Waymo did, like Zoox did. They made the little toaster on wheels. Waymo now has a new little minivan looking thing that they made themselves. You need your own vehicle to even attempt this, because making software and putting it on a vehicle and hoping it works, it's a lot harder. If they make the vehicle from the ground up with their software built into it as a part of it, it works a lot better. Hence why Tesla, self-driving works better, quote unquote, than Waymo and Zoox and the other ones. So yeah, this is where we're at. Travis was in on it. The co-founder of Uber was in on stealing from Google. Like, this is that bad. And then Anthony Levandowski takes the major blame for everything. He's just the fall guy because he was so stupid and he was so vocal and he was bragging at Google. He bragged. His boss, Chris Urmson, the lone guy at Aurora, wrote an email saying, yeah, this guy's up to something. He was bragging that much at Google. Like, he was at Lewandowski went to Uber and had meetings with Travis in Uber. Like, they knew this was going on before he left for Auto. So Auto was a complete scam, like top to bottom, front to back. The beginning, the conception of Auto was a purposely for a scam to hire these 4 engineers and take the tech from Google. These are the people, these are the minds that are running and building AI trucks right now. And then Chris Urmson, Anthony Lewandowski's boss at Google, gets with Sterling Anderson from Tesla and does the exact same thing. Sterling Anderson literally just copies Lewandowski's move, steals files from Tesla, poaches their engineers, gets with somebody else, Chris Urmson, and starts Aurora. The only difference is that Sterling and Aurora, they bent the knee quick. They didn't fight in court like Lewandowski and Google did, because the more they fought, the more came out. The more the Travis, the CEO of Uber, had to step down. He had to quit his own company. They forced him out because it was an embarrassment. It was a total embarrassment. So yeah, the founder of Aurora got with Sterling Anderson from Tesla and did the exact same corporate theft, sneak, scam move as Anthony Levandowski and the 4 engineers. And remember, one of the 4 is the creator of Kodiak Robotics. That's one of the top AI semi-truck companies in the world right now. Aurora, the top AI trucking company in the world right now, they're going down fast. They're going down fast. Oh yeah, man, this is it's just the more you dig into these people, the crazier it gets. Like again, all you normies out there that think these people are geniuses, which on paper they are, right? They can code, they can make a car kind of drive itself, kind of. They're pretty smart, but why, if they're so smart, why are they doing this? Why? So, how smart are they really? Or is it their product? Is it their life's work? Is their life's work that bad to where they just like resort to just stealing? Or are they just sociopaths, psychopaths that want to make tons of money, but they already make tons of money? They already make millions and millions of dollars. You should see the money Google was paying these guys, bonuses, millions a year. It's crazy. Are they just egomaniacs and want to become like Elon Musk? They want to be founders. Like, how are you going to be a founder when the technology doesn't work? Like, if these guys can plan and code and build AI systems, but they can't see their future, that their runway is going to run out because the product's not ever going to work. So the investors are going to leave. They're going to run out of money. They're going to burn through all the investment money. They're going to, like, they can't see the future, or do they not care about the future? Do they not care? Do they not give a shit about the future? I don't think they do. I mean, my opinion is that they know this shit doesn't work. They know their life's works is useless. They know they can create joint spec companies, make a stock, make money out of literally nothing, thin air, sell a narrative to the normies. The normies bump up the stocks. I mean, it's like why do you think Elon Musk bought Twitter? So he could tweet on there all the time, and every time he says level 5 autonomy is coming by the end of this year, his stocks go up. He makes more hundreds of millions, billions of dollars, and he keeps saying it over and over again. By the end of the year, by the end of the year, the next year, by the end of the year, next year, by the end of the year, and normies just keep believing it. Meanwhile, his cyber taxi has like failed miserably in what Austin and everything. Like this car keeps crashing, but nobody looks at that. There's headlines about it, but nobody looks. Yeah, his cyber taxi pretty much failed. It had remote drivers. Imagine that. He talks shit. He talks shit about Waymo a lot, and he ended up being just like Waymo, and his car ended up failing just like Waymo. So these guys are not what you think they are. The headlines don't mean what you think they mean. You have to dig in the research. You have to dig to like court documents to find out what's really going on. And it's getting really like annoying to go on TikTok and just see a bunch of truck drivers and people lose their minds and cry the sky is falling because there's a headline that Aurora is making a deal with Hirschbach. If they would read the article past the headline, it says non-binding memorandum by 2027. That means it's not going to happen. That means they gave a pinky promise and they're planning to do this. Meanwhile, the shit doesn't work. PACCAR's not letting them take a driver out. Volvo just said maybe next year we'll take the driver out, maybe. While Volvo pours all their money and attention into Wabi, while Uber dumps all their stocks from Aurora and invest into Wabi. It's another funny thing. Uber paid Aurora to take their ATG, their self-driving vehicle division, off their hands because it was such a disaster. All this would happen with Travis and Lewandowski and Otto, and then they deleted some pedestrian in Phoenix, which you see in my last video. All that was such a disaster. They paid Aurora $400 million to take it off their hands. Now, a couple weeks ago, Uber dumps 67 million shares of Aurora, totaling about $480 million out of Aurora. Isn't that funny? They got their money back. That 400 million, they got it back. Plus 80 million. Plus 80 million. It just took a little while, but they got that money back. Uber ain't that stupid. At first, I thought Uber was really stupid. No, they're not that stupid. They just had They had a stupid CEO that had a stupid plan. That's all they had. They had a stupid co-founder that he's kind of nuts. Um, yeah, they got their money back, and it looks like they got that money and poured it right into Wabi. Wabi is gonna be the new one. Aurora, everybody's already walking away from Aurora. Sterling Anderson went to go work for GM of all places. Chris Urmson's left by himself. Everybody's walking away from Aurora. They're pretty much done. They're gonna go through their money, probably dilute their stock one more time, and then they're gonna fade away into history. My guess, because that driver is not coming out. They would have to survive until next year. By that time, they're gonna be out of money. They're gonna be desperate. All Volvo has to say is, "I'll just wait one more quarter," and they're done. They're done. Uh, Same thing for Kodiak. Ain't nobody investing in them no more. Their only plan is to dilute their stock once again, sell their stock, make money off that to pay the bills. They're done. They're not even in the race, really. Like, they're not even in the competition. They're like a redheaded stepchild of the group, and everybody's focusing on Wabi.